Hey everybody, it's Lon Seidman. I am a sucker for gag gifts that are functional, and this is one of them. This is called the Native Union Pop Phone, and it looks just like the phone that I had hanging up in my kitchen since the 1970s, at least at my mom's house. And what's cool about this phone is that it uses a USB Type-C connection, so you can actually plug your smartphone into it and make calls. So this is a fully functional telephone handset designed for modern technology, and I tested it on everything, including phones, tablets, computers. It works everywhere. We're going to take a very quick look at this and have a special guest joining us in just a second, but I do want to let you know, in the interest of full disclosure, that I paid for this with my own funds, believe it or not. All the opinions you're about to hear are my own. No one has paid for this review, nor has anyone reviewed or approved what you're about to see before it was uploaded. So let's get into it now and see what this phone, or handset, is all about. Now, the price point on this comes in at around $40 or so. It comes in a bunch of different colors. I went with yellow because this was the color that more closely matched the phone that I had as a kid in my kitchen. And unlike the original phone that I had, it doesn't feel like a weapon. It's not cheap feeling, but it's not metal and heavy and sturdy like my old phone handset was. That thing weighed a ton. This one is much more plastic in its feeling because it is, of course, made out of plastic. You can't unscrew the handset here at all, so you can't explore the components like you could when you were a kid, but you don't have to rent it from the phone company either, which is what we had to do in my house. So this is pretty much it. You plug it in with the USB-C cable to your phone or your computer. It does have a coiled cable here, but the cable does not come out of the handset, so the cable it comes with is what you are stuck with. Now you will notice there is a button here, and when you're on a call and you want to disconnect the call, you can push the button to do that. So right now I'm making a call to myself here. If I push the button, it will hang up the call and go back to where I was on my phone. It's not as satisfying as slamming the phone down on the handset, especially when the handset weighed 15 pounds, but you can disconnect the call and then slam it down on the table if you want, but just don't do it too hard because this thing is made out of plastic. Now you're probably wondering what this thing sounds like, so to do a proper audio test, I'm going to call the only other person in the world who was crazy enough to buy one of these things, Larry Herb, otherwise known as Xbox's Major Nelson. He and I are buddies. We love this kind of retro technology, so we're going to give Larry a call and see how this sounds. One thing to note on this call you're about to watch is that my end of the call doesn't sound great, and that's due to the fact that my production hardware just did not like this phone. But Larry's end of the call is very representative of what this thing sounds like. So why don't we dial up Larry now and see what a conversation is like with this retro-inspired piece of hardware. Hello, Larry.
Hey, Lon, good to see you and hear you.
And hear you. This is great. You know what's funny is this sounds better than I thought it would.
Well, you know what? Back in the day, if you remember. So first of all, we're talking on these handsets. I showed you one on social, and you picked one up, and we're like, let's do this together. And I'm like, absolutely. But in the old days, phone bandwidth, if I recall correctly, was like 7.5 kilohertz. Right. So yeah, I agree with you. It definitely sounds a little bit more phone-like. I got one of these to kind of show my daughter how we used to do things back in the day, and I use it once in a while in meetings, and people are just like, "Wait, what? What's going on?"
What's amazing is the muscle memory. I picked this thing up, and I feel like I've been talking on it forever.
And you're doing this like you used to in the old days.
Yeah, right. Because I got to get the thing for the, you put the thing on there.
To put on your shoulder.
Yeah, to put on your shoulder.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun retro. We both got the yellow. I mean, the reason I got the yellow. I think this is called butter yellow or something. But the official color that I had in my house growing up in Connecticut was harvest gold.
That's what I had. That's the color that I had in my house. And then my mom had a 50-foot phone cord.
Right. And it just kind of went on forever. But this is how we used to do it back in the day, kids. We used to do this, and if I were to call Lon and say, Lon, you want to go out tonight? And Lon wasn't home, well, that was the end of that.
So what's the reaction been when you've gotten onto a Zoom call with one of these things?
A lot of the older folks will be like, that's amazing, tell me about it. And the younger folks are like, what is that? They just have no concept of, that being the old school phone.
Well, Larry, I just wanted to do a quick test of this thing, so I appreciate you calling in. And
my pleasure. First time, long time, Lon. So
yes. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Lon. Bye-bye.
Bye. So that'll do it for this look at the Native Union Pop Phone. I want to thank Larry for joining me to properly test this thing out. And if you were looking for a really fun and functional gag gift, this might be a great one to give, especially for folks that would prefer to be on their Zoom calls the way it's supposed to be done with a phone held up to your ear. That will do it for this one. Until next time, this is Lon Seidman. Thanks for watching.